Yeah, so today I'm going to take you through a bit of a journey around a very unlucky tenant of ours who I guess has been picked on. Virtual tenants, not a real person, but has been picked on most of these housing webinar elements is Alison. Now the journey I'm going to take you through is Alison's got a leaky pipe in her bathroom, and and she's going to try and get that fixed, or certainly raise it to a housing association. I'm going to take you through sort of the first end of that, the portal side of that, and then take you as a customer service agent and looking at what the information that's captured on the portal, how that's represented in Dynamics 365, and some of the information, what we can do with it. Giving the power to the customer service agent to be able to look at related data to that case, the tenant, the tenancy, the property itself, to get a well-rounded picture of maybe what's going on and maybe some deeper issues, but also a little bit around using that data to be able to focus on creating a work order to get an engineer out to go ahead and fix the issue. We'll then sort of take you through a little bit more of what Dynamics 365 offers from a mobile perspective. So I'll be chucking up a kind of a mobile app to show you native field services mobile, and also a little bit of what you can do with Canvas apps, tailing off at the end of the demonstration around some really cool features around Canvas apps. So embedded in all of this, hopefully we'll run through so Power Pages, so the portal side of Dynamics. We'll run through Dynamics 365 applications. We have an accelerator on top that deals with a very housing association spin on Dynamics 365, but we'll be in the customer service module primarily, and the field service module, looking at how engineers are scheduled, how we can start booking in these engineers, and relating work orders to SOR codes, for example, and things like that. And then tailing off, we're talking about Canvas apps, we're talking about mobile apps, and some AI elements in that as well. So that's really the journey that I want to take you through. So I'm going to start to share my screen. And as I said, I'm going to start with the portal. I'm Alison at the moment. I've logged on to my my Crimson Housing, Crimson Tenant portal. I've got a few things I can do here. I can have a look at some knowledge-based articles. I've got a warning here saying that I've got a couple of inspections due this week, which is interesting. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and try and create a case for my leaking pipe. So the first thing you can see is I've jumped onto my support, where you can open a new case or you can search for certain elements. Now this links to your knowledge base article. So if it's something, maybe it's not leaking, pipe is probably not a good example of looking at that, but potentially some FAQs for the process around anything. So it could even be what's the process around ASB. So if I start searching for things, you'll see that the knowledge base article is connected here, so I can click on this and have a look at the policy, Crimson Housing's policy around ASB, etc. So what I would be doing is opening a new case and having a look at doing entering some details. What this will do is it will load up a new page where you can enter in some information and have a description around what exactly is the issue. We've got some specific case types and some subjects you can choose from. You add in a description, and importantly, you can actually take some photos and attach your files and some photo evidence, etc., to help out. Now, because this is a demo, I've already created a case for Alison. As you can see, there's a leaking pipe already there. So what you can also do, once you've raised that case as a tenant, you can see all of the cases and the status of those cases that you've raised. As you can see, we've picked on Alison quite a bit. She's got a number of cases in progress, but this one is the one I'm going to sort of show you through from the demo. So to show you, you can actually, once you've raised it, you can get back to this as a tenant and have a look at the details that you can see here around this specific issue, and it will take you through giving you the case number. So if you wanted to ring up, you've got some identifiers there. The subject, the case type have been populated, and you can see from the description that there's a leaking pipe, but also she's added on here, she's hard of hearing, so we need to get whoever it is, the engineer, to be able to knock loudly. Now, this is Alison. She's quite diligent in terms of always telling us things like this, but what's useful is let's work out how that's represented within the system so it's not missed on those situations for the customer service agent and the engineer. So the portal, as a technology, that is Power Apps pages. It's extremely configurable. The look and feel can be edited. These screens can be obviously made a lot more nicer, and this is just a demonstration environment, but you can see the power of having sort of a portal there available for your tenants to be able to access and directly self-serve and start the ball rolling with creating a case, creating an issue. The good thing about this is that the frontline staff, in terms of the customer service agent, doesn't have to collect all of this information. Because we know it's Alison and we know where she lives, we can automatically make those links and add that information in for the contact center agent just to very quickly have a look at that and see where it is. So in behalf of Alison, that's pretty much the end of the journey for Alison and the portal. She submitted it. She can keep having a look at the statuses. She will get some emails around notifications around what's going on, what's happening, and also anything that's relating to this case will show up here, and I'll come back to that in a little bit later on. So as a contact center agent, I'm monitoring the queue, I'm having a look at certain elements. So I'm going to jump in as a contact center agent now into Dynamics and show you, again, we're in the Crimson Housing Association app, but it could easily be the customer service app that shows exactly the same thing. In here, you can see that I've gone ahead and found the case, and you can see that it's the leaking pipe, and as I said before, it's automatically linked the tenancy, the unit, and the contact details on behalf of Alison. So you can see here that there's a couple of other elements that have gone on. I will talk through the timeline, but this case has a business process bar, just like any of the elements of Dynamics 365. If you guys aren't familiar with Dynamics, at the top is this process bar that allows you to step from one sort of stage where you're collating information, you're doing some research and potentially resolving the case. But as you can see here, as a contact center agent, I know that, well, actually, this is a leaking pipe. I might need to give her a call to find out a little bit more information to work out the urgency of this. It may be that it's a really big leak and we might have to do something pretty urgently. So what I can do, as you can see here, Martin, one of my other contact center agents, has given her a courtesy call to discuss the leak. But obviously, if this hadn't happened before, you can go ahead, create a phone call, and put some information around that phone call. Dynamics 365 is linked to, or can be linked to, your telephony system through omnichannel engagement, or simply through sort of soft loan dialers. So if you have what's known as CTI integration, you can go ahead and pop up a side screen. You can call them using the information from this case, and then the phone call would be automatically linked to this case. So on speaking to Alison, we've realised that it's quite an urgent problem and we do need to get somebody out pretty quick. So what we would be doing is converting to a work order. But before that, I want to find a little bit more information about about Alison to make sure that we can assign the right engineer. So as you can see, I've got the tenancy record there, and I can navigate through to the tenancy record. It gives me a little bit more information around the location, the property details. But up on here, we can see that what's been highlighted is a couple of alert cards, where you can see that there is a bit of safeguarding, and obviously the spanner and the screw knows that we've got some outstanding cases relating to this tenancy. So the customer care element, let's have a look at the contact details for Alison. And this will give us a bit of a 360 view of Alison, and showing things like the current satisfaction with us, what she's like on communication and payment history. And you can see that those alerts up, exactly the same alerts as the tenancy information, but that will relate to the hacked information that we have from her, which is that she has hearing difficulties. So although she's specifically called it out in her case, we already know that she's got hearing difficulties, and we can associate and action the right engineers with the information around, knocking loudly or whatever it may be. This information is available and already recorded on Alison's contact record, so we know that information. We also know a little bit more about her, and as you can see, there are a couple of cases that have happened with Alison previously, and one of them, interestingly, is as the temperature has gone over 55 degrees on the boiler, which is unusual for that boiler. 55 degrees, I'm not sure if it's unusual, but it is in our demo example. That's interesting. Does it relate to the leak? No, but is it something important that maybe the engineers would want to know about? Yes. So if we dig down into that and have a look, okay, so what's going on with that case, and how has that been raised? So if I jump onto that case, I can see that it looks like it's come from an IoT alert from Alison's boiler. So what we can do is have a look back onto the initial IoT alert and have a look and see, okay, well, that's really interesting. Something's happened here where it's triggered an alert to say that something might not be working quite well with the boiler. Now that's really interesting, and I think maybe I'd need to save time and effort, if an engineer's going out and it's going to be a plumber looking at a leaking tap, maybe they can do a quick assessment on the boiler as well. So what I can try and do is combine the two actions together for one work order, and to see if there's anything that we can do, fix it first time, and maybe it might be related to that. So that's really interesting. Behind the scenes, where has this come from? So Alison has one of our new Spark boilers installed in her property, and that has IoT capabilities, which we are actually tracking through what's known as the Azure IoT Hub. And if I just show you what that looks like, the raw details, if an engineer or if the customer service agent would want to have a look, you can see and you can navigate to certain devices that are being tracked, and you can actually see the temperature, the pressure, and the power over time. So you can actually have a see areas, and you can see sometimes these are spiking quite a lot, which is obviously causing the IoT alert to be triggered, and that information is automatically sent with it into Dynamics. Dynamics understands that as an alert and has created a case, and when the engineers are monitoring their queue, these cases are going to be tackled by specific people. This is, it's just a temperature alert, so it's not a huge thing, like it's not a huge error or something's immediately broken, but it's something that I think, that it's useful that we need to have a look at. So that's interesting. So because we know that, I'm going to go back to the case, and as I said, I would be usually converting this to a work order at the top here, and what that allows us to do is move away from the case management side, so the customer service management side, into the field services side, where we're creating services and tasks for our repairs guys to actually do. Again, bit of a Blue Peter moment. I've already created a work order for this leaking pipe case, so I can jump on to work orders now and see this work order. So what you'll be able to see, what you'll be able to see is that some stuff has come across. So the billing account has come across, so it's Alison's, and you can see that there's a couple of things. Oh, there was a bathroom refit. That was probably our bathroom refit that installed the new boiler. So actually, that's interesting that it's not been that that long, and it might have caused, you know, the refit might have caused something that's going on in terms of that leaky pipes. What you can see here is that it's pending at the moment, and it's a work order type of maintenance, and you can see that it's been scheduled as a bathroom refit. But if you look at the services, you'll see that what we've got in here is linked to the SOR code that relates to repairing a leak to the pipe. So you can see that the PLU 045 is the SOR code, and we can actually have a look at this service that we're trying to associate to the work order. So it's got some information around this element, and the description is repair to a pipe upstairs, and then the internal description is repair fault sink, leaving good working order, free flowing, blah, blah, blah. So all of that stuff has come from the SOR code. We can see that the service relates to that element, and we've got the estimated information around here. So once this has been completed, you'd actually see the duration or the actual cost of this. But £36.12 comes from that SOR costing, and we've got an estimate of an hour duration to get that fixed. But because I've seen the IoT alert, and I know there's an outstanding case because we've looked on it from Alison, what I'd also want this engineer to do is to go and actually have a quick assessment of that boiler as well, so we can tackle two things at once. So although this is repairing a leak, I also want to do a assessment. So the plumbing repair has come from the SOR code, but I've also added on here a new service task called assessment. And I've commented saying, look, just have a look at the boiler. There's some funny readings in the IoT device. Just have a look and see, you know, if you can see anything, have an assessment and work out if there's anything that we need to fix. If you fix it on site, brilliant. You create a new work order, associate the SOR code and crack on. If it's something that, you know, you can't do personally, then okay, well, we can understand that, create a work order and get that assigned to the proper engineer to come in and fix that boiler. So that's just an example of, you know, if you've got all of the right information at your fingertips as a contact center agent, as a repair person, that you will be able to go ahead and allocate the right elements. We've got the work order set up now. What we need to do now is actually book an engineer in. Now, there are a number of ways Dynamics 365 and field services do this. You can manually go ahead and book this by clicking the book button, and what this will show you is a number of things. Once it's loaded, it will show you a scheduler of our appropriate engineers that have the right skill set, and the ones that are available, we can go ahead. It looks like I'm already booked, but I seem to be down here twice. But I can go ahead and just simply click on that and say, okay, well, let's book it for 10. And, you know, give him, you know, a couple of hours or to actually have a look at this. That's the arrival time, call it 10:30, and then the end time, let's call it, yeah, 12:30. So what I can do is go ahead and book this. This would be sort of the manual way of booking it, very similar to what I guess you would see in other areas. What we also have is the ability to create resource requests, and those resource requests can be filled by what's known as the resource scheduling optimizer, which is again another add-on from Dynamics 365 Field Services, which allows you to automatically schedule the right engineers with the right skill sets, possibly based on the SOR codes that they're able to do, or the category and topic that's been specified in the work order, to then go and schedule that in. The resource scheduling optimizer will also work out the travel times needed and find the right slot for your engineers. So again, the scheduler and Dynamics 365 really powerful when selecting and choosing the right engineers to actually go ahead and do that. What I can show you now is probably more around the field service engineer's view of the world, and loading up a couple of applications to sort of finish off the demonstration on this one. So where we are, we've done the work order, we've got it scheduled, we've booked it with an engineer, all of the information is ready to go. So I would then, an alert would come to me as an engineer, and I would then go ahead and jump on my phone. And if I just, so we've got a couple of things to show you. As an engineer, you do have out-of-the-box field service application on your phone, which is a mobile application of Dynamics 365 and the field services. So if I jump on that first, it's going to load up field services bookings for me. And as you can see, I've got a couple of bookings because I clicked twice when I was in the demo, but you can see that I've got a booking in 2 hours. Ignore that one. I've got a booking in 2 hours where I need to go to Allison. It's 20 Dove Way, and I can go ahead and have a look at that. So as an engineer, I can see the bookings I have all day for the week, whatever it may be. I can see some really pertinent information about this, including the work order. If I wanted to find out some more information about that work order, I can see Allison, I can see the work order types, I can also see the services and the service tasks that these guys want me to do. So I've got an hour reserved for doing the plumbing repair and 45 minutes to do the assessment. So I can go ahead, find out a little bit more information around that, and go ahead and start work on this. So as you can see, quite powerful in terms of being able to find the right information within sort of out of the box Dynamics 365 mobile application. What you can also do, I'm just closing the field services element there and go back to my home screen. I actually have, I am a designated plumbing engineer, and I've got a separate application that deals with boilers and work orders with boilers. Now, this is an example of a Canvas app that can be configured that is a little bit more specific to the type of things an engineer or the type of work that you'd want your engineers to be doing. So we've created a Canvas app called Work Orders, which specifically talks around what type of work is doing. So I've gone ahead and fixed the leak, absolutely fine, noted the things down, and we're on to the assessment now. So I'm going to have a look at some of the elements around the boiler. So I need to understand what the boiler is. I've never seen this boiler before. I've jumped onto the kitchen. I've never seen this boiler. It's a new one, as I said, so it's a new smart boiler, and I've never seen or worked with this before. So this is going to be interesting. So what I'm going to use here is Azure AI Builder to take a quick photo of the boiler so that I can get the right information. And the reason why, I could search for this and type in the boiler and the make and the model, but it's all about as efficient as possible and as quick as possible. And rather than going ahead and looking for this manually, what I can do is open up the screen, take a picture of the boiler, and what that will do is go ahead and using AI Builder and image detection, it's actually going to identify Worcester Bosch Green Star. It's already identified the type of boiler, 82% confidence. Yeah, I'll take that. And what I want to have a look is just have a look at the relevant knowledge base article for that. And I can see already, if I just take a quick picture, it gives me the AI, it knows which boiler it is, and it can then automatically find the right information for me to understand what the boiler is about. It might be links to the manual to understand, okay, if I'm doing a quick service check or if I'm checking X, Y, and Z, where's the location of this, where's the location of that? I've got this at my fingertips as my engineer. Now, in this instance, I can see that there's something wrong with it. I don't really know this boiler. I'm not confident in fixing this myself. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new work order, and I can go ahead and enter in all the information at my fingertips, and that work order will automatically be linked to the case, to the tenancy, the location, and Alison, and we can then schedule and find the right engineers to go ahead and fix the issue, the actual boiler. So very quick demonstration of some of the elements around Dynamics 365, but as you can see, there's a lot there that you can do, and it's really about being super responsive with the data being captured in the right area. So if you're looking at the portal, you're capturing and doing self-service from Alison. If you're the customer service agent, you've got all of the information to your fingertips, so you can make the right choices in terms of creating the work orders and associating additional tasks to be able to fix some things first time. And then from the field service side of things, as the plumber, I have at my fingertips all the information that's been collated from Alison and the customer service agent, but I also then can enter and find out some information about, say, my location or my environment. This is the AI builder allows us to scan the boiler, and also I can create work orders off the back of something rather than bringing it in or having to wait until I go back to the office to then get somebody to go out and see them. I can create that work order on the fly with my mobile so that it's far more responsive. So those are the elements that I really wanted to sort of touch on today, to kind of summarize the benefits of these. If you're building sort of trust and loyalty and delivering that empathetic, connected experience, you can really highlight and keep that, as Alison's seen, she's got a really good experience with us, even though she's got a whole load of issues, bless her. But you can see that if it's a connected customer service experience, you have that data to be able to do it. The actionable insights is, again, something that really is useful. If you've got IoT connected to these smart devices, that information at the right time can create those alerts and get the ball rolling in terms of creating that case and getting it fixed quicker. And obviously equipping your employees with mobile devices that have the right applications for them to do and process their job quicker. It means that it's going to speed up the whole process, and the experience is going to be a lot better. So that's the demonstration for me, pretty much done. So yeah, thanks very much.